Impossible levels. You may have heard of them. When talking about impossible levels, what usually comes to mind is the Silent series. This series was started by Black P2S Full in 1.6 when he released Silent Club and then continued by Silent thereafter. With famous levels like Silent Club Step and Silent Circles, these levels were intentionally made to be humanly impossible, and some have definitely succeeded in that regard more than others. The thing with these levels is that they have either only been rated for a very short time or been unrated their whole lifespan. However, what if I told you there was a select few levels on the Geometry Dash servers that were initially possible and easy, but over the years they were slowly rendered impossible due to slight changes in Geometry Dash physics? Well, these levels are actually still rated today, and I'm gonna show you why these levels have been impossible for the majority of their lifespans after certain updates. Well, without any further ado, let's get right into the level tour. The first two levels we will be talking about are all impossible. This is probably because of a slight hitbox change in either the slabs or icons, as they all involve in a very tight gap. The first level was Apocalypse Realm by Experienced Dawn, which has this small space at 9%. Then there's Blue Castle by BD Dimson, which has this small space at 24%. There is an impossible demon called Legendary by Yama Demon, which waits until 87% to show you its impossible segment. These are all of the conventionally impossible levels, meaning that there's 3 of them. However, the most notorious and infamous hacker of Geometry Dash was about to add to this list. This hacker was Anaban, and he would cause 2 levels called Danger Dance and Radiation to be unable to open. He was able to do this by hacking into these players' accounts, and then by accessing their level editor, he deleted all structures and replaced it with 10,000 spikes layered over each other on the same block. This glitch usually works with just 1,000 spikes layered on each other, so this was able to easily make these levels unopenable. The next 4 levels I'm gonna be talking about all have theoretical ways of being beaten by either having very specific game settings or using very specific exploits. However, keep in mind only 2 of these levels have been legitimately beaten after the buggy updates. First is Codename Factory, which actually has no impossible parts, just a separate bug for 60Hz and 144Hz users. A player known as Cynx13 discovered that both of these bugs were able to be bypassed with smooth fix off on mobile devices. While this level still does have bugs and problems people complain about, it is definitely possible. A more interesting case is a level called Swiftness by Zeraku, which everyone thinks is impossible. However, Cynx would also challenge himself to bypass this once impossible gravity ball part using a very specific method. Just like with Codename Factory, you need to turn off Smooth Fix, although this time you need to be playing it on PC with window mode. When you finish the first 30%, you get to this ball part. Now you need to activate the normally glitched blue orb. At nearly the same time, you need to start holding the window. Older mouses with more delay are recommended. Then when you press the escape key before your ball hits these gears, you press spacebar to activate the yellow orb to jump over this gap. Now, let go of all the buttons and do the thing I just said a second time in a row. Make sure you don't choke the last 60% of the level after all that effort. Anyways, a star grinder known as Steekmen would use this tactic to legitimately pass his ball part and then die to the UFO. That being said, I guess Swiftness by Zeraku is possible, despite the recent changes to orb masking. It seems Cynx's main goal in Geometry Dash is proving everyone wrong about impossible levels, as he would go on to find a very specific way to skip the icon portal Demon Machine. This is important because it helps you skip the instant death this gravity portal normally brings. That being said, while this level has been beaten in practice mode, it has not been beaten legitimately in normal mode. The 4th demon, Clutter Factory, normally has an unskippable small gap at 35%, but a very specific timing allowed with very specific settings allows you to go through the gap. This glitch was discovered and executed on by Cynx, and he was actually able to beat the level.
Oh my god,
There are also 4 levels which you can only beat through abusing a glitch where you play in windowed mode, pause before the bug, and move the game window. These 4 levels would be Rubus Adventure by Nubis, PogChamp Boss Fight by Jeyzor, Robotic Nightmares by XC7, and Toxic Ruins by G-Boy. Aside from that, Geometry Dash has a bit of a history with levels that change to be impossible, but these usually either get unrated or reverted back, so these are the only levels that exist today that are either straight up impossible or require an elaborate glitch to defeat. Chances are these levels will probably be reverted back to normal soon. RobTop gave an elder mod and creator known as Paz the go-ahead to start changing these levels slightly to make sure that the bugs don't affect gameplay. While this is a change that's beneficial for the game in the long term, it does feel weird to get rid of this history. However, this had to happen eventually, and I guess Geometry Dash will be all the more healthy because of it. This does mean one thing, and that's the fact that there will probably never ever be an impossible rated level in the start page of Geometry Dash again.